What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a very interesting rumor that honestly was kind of the calm before the storm, before the developer direct, before we got WB Games, the president leaving. Before all of that, there was a simple little tweet out there that originated from Daniel RPK, who we've talked a lot about. He very much gets a lot of things right in the Hollywood kind of movie side. He ventures into games here and there, and a lot of the stuff is kind of not proven yet. Like he's maybe so far ahead of the curve that you can't really say he's right or wrong, but he tends to be extremely right when it comes to like movies and television, Hollywood, okay? So he had said that there's going to be a Marvel's Avengers game, and he gave no details other than to say it's not connected to the gem, and that's sarcasm, the gem behind me, okay? Square Enix's Marvel's Avengers. Not connected in any way, but there is going to be a new game. Now, I have a couple different feelings about this. My original feeling that I actually tweeted was like, oh, no matter how I feel, this is one of those things where it's like you hear about it so early, which is kind of his fault, but you hear it so early that I'm going to probably forget about it, / it's going to be in just that very like back part of my mind, and I'm going to have to bring it back up in 5 years when we see the game, right? It's probably so far away that it's not really worth having the emotions I'm about to have on it, okay? Like what I'm about to say, not really necessary. I mean, what is necessary on the internet, but it's not really necessary because it's so far away. It's like, why even bother? Okay, that's the state of the gaming industry, by the way. But as I started thinking about it more and more, okay, and I think I saw a Reddit post that compared the idea to like a Marvel Rivals of sorts, and it kind of got me, I would say, worried. So this is where we're going to go a little bit more pessimistic. So while it's not connected to Marvel's Avengers, the Square Enix game, right? That should be a given. You should never do that. You should try to distance yourself and try to pretend like that game is as far away as, from your game as humanly possible, okay? Not that it was the worst thing of all time, but it was just kind of textbook definition of what not to do, and you just don't want to be associated with it. It was a failure in a lot of different ways. You just don't want anything to do with it, okay? But at the same time, when you're creating something like Marvel's Avengers, now what I would want is like Guardians of the Galaxy, okay? Or, any single player Marvel game that we've gotten so far, right? But Guardians of the Galaxy is a really good example because that is a ensemble cast. It's a lot of them. And, I love that game a lot. It's a game of the year type thing. I know it didn't sell. I know it failed to meet expectations. I know they're not making a second one. So those things are things you have to keep in mind. Like, I don't want to ask for things that are just, like, completely unreasonable. But at the same time, okay, when you think about Marvel Rivals and you think about, obviously, like, where the industry is sadly still at, we're trying to really push live service. You have a big cast, like Marvel's Avengers. Now, you could say Marvel Rivals is so big that if you did an Avengers live service thing, it's so, it's so small in comparison because you kind of already have like an encompassing thing with Rivals. So maybe that stops it from happening. Maybe that's good, okay? But if you were to do, I swear to God, if you do a live service or multiplayer Marvel's Avengers, I'm going to lose it. If you think Suicide Squad is the path to follow, if you think the first Avengers game, even if you're not connected to it, if you basically try it again, I don't know what to tell you at this point. Again, I'm not an idiot. I'm not like oblivious. Like I understand even what I'm asking for was say like a Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't profitable. You could argue didn't really work. Now, I would also argue it was an incredibly good game. Far better than Marvel's Avengers by like 100. Did it succeed? Well, it probably failed similarly. Actually, maybe Marvel's Avengers failed more than Guardians of the Galaxy. But, neither of them were successful, let's say. But at least Guardians of the Galaxy was good. So what I'm asking for is a good video game. What we might end up getting... No, I don't know. Look, I mean, live service can work. We've seen it work. Marvel Rivals is extremely good. I actually like that game. I play that game quite often. So, and we've seen Helldivers. Like, I'm not opposed to live service. It's just, if you're going to do this, we've already tried it once. I'm not really a fan of trying the same thing like that multiple times. And I don't know, that just got in my head. I saw one post and I thought, well, you know what? Again, as an industry, we're still in that era. Like when you pitch an idea, like 60-70% of the ideas probably would lean more towards multiplayer than they would single player. So your odds of when you pitch a game like this, the odds would say it's going to be more multiplayer than single player. And again, does that mean it's immediately going to fail? No, but I will say, but in my own personal opinion, I immediately do get worried about it. That's just where I'm at. That's where I'm at with that brand. That's where I'm at with these ideas. That's where just all of this stuff. If you tell me that, I'm going to naturally be worried, and you're going to be more in a prove it scenario than you would the other way around. That's just my own personal biasness, whatever. You can have your own for sure as well, but that's mine. So again, all of this stuff, this last 4 minutes of talking, ultimately, we'll probably see it 3 years from now. I'll forget about it. We'll see it again. Oh my God, a Marvelous Avengers game. It'll be like that, but for now, I just hope that they've learned not just like to distance yourself from Square Enix's game, but also like to learn from that game. And so, and again, if you want to try it again, hopefully you've learned some lessons. Hopefully you've learned like content is king and just making a good game. I just don't think it's a good game, and that's one of the problems with it amongst many. So I don't know. I just hope that lessons have been learned. Oftentimes they are not. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure as always you're subscribed to the channel, bell icons turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.